Merry Christmas, everybody. It's Carol and Timmy and Molly and Toby. How you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Except Toby's going to be barking at me because he wants me to throw his squeaky toy. But he's fine. Nobody's getting hurt. Just Toby making a lot of noise. I wanted to tell you about another Christmas story. A Christmas that, this was such a wonderful thing somebody did for us. First I have to go back. My mom died 27 years ago. At that time, I had 3 kids in elementary school and 1 in middle school. It was a year after my divorce, and so it was just me and the 4 kids. My mom lived in another town, but she died in the middle of an asthma attack. She had a lifeline thing she wore around her neck, and she had pressed the button and the EMTs got there, but she passed. And it was quite unexpected. She hadn't been really ill or anything. She had asthma horrible and had asthma attacks all the time. She was 72. It was just a shock because we didn't expect her to pass right then. Anyway, it was really a difficult time for us at Christmas because I was really close to her, my kids were really close to her, and anyway, the following Christmas, this is the first Christmas without my mom, and we were just really having a difficult time. Everybody was really sad, remembering Grandma, and we lived in this house. It was a little cracker box of a house in a neighborhood that was not the safest. That's the house where somebody tried to steal my car, but my old junky car kept dying on them in the driveway and they couldn't get away with it. There was this man, way adult man, that lived across from us who was a peeping Tom. I didn't have draperies, I just had mini blinds, and my daughters shared a bedroom, and they kept telling me that they felt something was weird, and then finally they heard this guy crouched underneath their window looking through their mini blinds at them. I called the police, and it happened numerous times. Then the police finally caught him and took care of that. At that house, my little boy was shot. A neighbor had their teenage nephew babysitting their kids, and my little boy was probably 4th grader, I guess, was riding his bike, rode up into our driveway and was sitting there on his bike. I guess the neighbor kid said something to him and he had stopped, and he was sitting on his bike, and the teenage boy shot him with a BB gun. He shot him in the leg on the up pedal, and the pellet went into his calf. I didn't see it, and evidently he told him, if you tell anybody, something's going to happen. So my little boy didn't tell me. But later that night, he wasn't walking very good, and I said, "What is wrong with your leg?" And no, nothing, it just hurts, nothing's wrong. He wouldn't tell me. Well, then the next morning, I was gathering up dirty clothes, putting in a load of jeans, and I picked up this brand new pair of jeans he had, and it had a perfectly round hole in the leg. And I said, "Well, what'd you do to your new pants?" "Nothing." And I said, "There's a round hole in it. Something happened." It wasn't a rip, it was a perfectly round hole. And he said, "Well, maybe I got shot." I said, you got shot? Well, turns out, sure enough, he did. I called the police, and when the officer came, I said, "I feel bad calling you out over a BB gun shot, but it's in his thigh, it's in his calf, it's still there. The BB pellet's still in his leg." And he said, "You need to take him to the emergency room." It was red and awful looking by then. And he said, "And it's not just a BB pellet shot. Look at this child." He was a small kid. He said, He talked to my son, and it was that leg was the one on the up pedal when he was sitting there, and the police officer told me, look, it's about a foot 18 inches from his heart. If it had penetrated his chest and hit his heart, he'd be dead. It's not just a BB pellet shot. Yeah, it's a good thing you called. So anyway, that's still in his leg. He's 35 now, and it's still there because the doctor said it would do too much nerve damage trying to dig it out. It was deep in his calf. So he still has that BB pellet. Well, anyway, this was not the kind of neighborhood where you put something on your porch and expected it to be there more than 5 minutes. And so somebody knew that. Somebody knew my schedule. On alternating days, I either got off at 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. I worked at a library. And so somebody knew my schedule, because what happened, we had gotten home, got the kids out of the car and in the house and shut the door. And within just a few minutes, there was a knock on the door. Toby. So I opened the door, and there's nobody out there, but there was a tree branch, like about 5 feet tall. It was almost as tall as I am. No leaves on it or anything, but a little fake bird wired to it and a pear wired to it. No, I couldn't see anybody around. So I brought it in, and I said, kids, one of your friends is doing some kind of prank on us. And they said, Mom, it's a partridge in a pear tree. And we laughed about that. And I put it over next to our Christmas tree and left it there. And we would look at it and we would just laugh that somebody gave us a partridge in a pear tree. Well, I didn't think any more about it. And in a couple of days, there was another knock on the door. I didn't have a doorbell. Knock, knock, knock. Go to the door. Nobody's there, but on my porch are 2 boxes of turtle dove candies. So I brought it in and I said, kids, we have 2 turtle doves. I just wondered who was doing it. And I decided it wasn't their friends. Their friends couldn't afford 2 boxes of turtle dove candies. We lived in a real poor neighborhood. Couple of days went by. Knock, knock, knock. Let me see. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens. There was a box with frozen Cornish hens in it. I'd never seen a Cornish hen. So we brought that in, and now we all wonder who is giving us these presents. Obviously, it's not a child; it's somebody doing this for us. And we would try to look. I was always like within 5 minutes from the time I got off work and got the kids in the house, and so every day we would kind of be listening and watching out the windows, trying to see if somebody was going to leave something on our porch. We never caught them, and after several times, I told the kids, look, obviously this is their fun to do this and not be caught, so we're going to quit looking for them. We're going to let them have their fun, and we're going to enjoy whatever they leave for us. Then I don't remember what it was for 4 calling birds. For 5 golden rings, they left us a can of pineapple rings, sliced pineapple. When it was the Lord's a Leaping, we got socks, really nice socks. These weren't white tube socks. These were pretty socks, thick and in colors, and like a Christmas plaid, and I don't remember what all, but these were nice socks, like I never had been able to buy. And then we all got a pair of gloves, those stretchy knit gloves, and the socks were clothespined onto something. I don't remember what it was, but each time there would be a note. We would find a note that said, on the 5th day of Christmas, 5 golden rings. I don't remember the other gifts. I have forgotten. It's been too many years ago. And I had it all written down at one time, but in some move I lost that. But anyway, that was so much fun for us that year because it was the first year without my mom. We were all really really sad about it. Having a hard time getting any Christmas spirit up at our house, and um, this anticipation to see, are they going to bring another present? Will there be another one? And they all weren't expensive gifts. They were, for me, they would have been a lot of money, but for somebody else, it might not have been a whole bunch, but it meant the world to us because it was so fun. The anticipation of, is this going to be the day that they leave something else? You know, it was just so fun. And the last gift was, I don't even know what the 12th day of Christmas, what the gift is, but ours was a box with stuff for us to have a New Year's party, me and the 4 kids. There was cans of Sprite in there and popcorn and candy bars and I don't remember what else, but it was stuff for us to have a little New Year's Eve party, just me and the kids. You know, it was wonderful. I wanted to know who did it so I could give them 100 hugs and tell them how much they did for our family that year, because it was a hard Christmas. And they made it so much fun. But I never found out who it was. And like I said, after a while, I quit trying. At first, I was calling people I knew, and I said, did you happen to leave something on my porch for me? You know, I tried real hard to figure out who it was for a little while, but then I thought, no, this, they want to be anonymous. It's okay. We'll let them have their fun. But anyway, I'm fairly certain it was somebody from our church, and so I often spoke in church, and I taught a class, and so at church, at one point when I was teaching a class, I said, this is what's been happening, and it is so wonderful. You have made it Christmas for us, and whoever you are, really, really want to thank you so much. And I'd never heard of doing this. Evidently now on Pinterest, there's lots of examples of this. It's called ring and run. You know, ring the doorbell and run and leave something, and it's a thing. But 27 years ago, I didn't have internet, and I had never heard of anybody knocking on your door and leaving anything on your porch. But it was just so awesome. It was an act of kindness that was obviously fun for them and way fun for us. And that act of kindness truly made that Christmas better, when it was a pretty sad Christmas. So, you know, anytime you can do an act of kindness for somebody, you never know what an impact that's going to make. So everybody, do something kind for somebody every day. I mean, you didn't have to spend money. You just smile at somebody and say something to them, you know, something nice, can just make somebody's day. So that's it for today. Gosh, I'm sorry this is long. I'm going to make a 5-minute video someday. That's my goal. But anyway, Merry Christmas. Give me a thumbs up if you would. If you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that bell. And y'all just have a great week. Bye.